Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single orc in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue with you, Bibius. Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Seal.
What do you want to know? So, it's Jake you're looking for. Ship sailed on that one, I'm afraid. Fellow's dead. Murdered.
Can't tell you much more, except that I heard he was found face down in a puddle of blood, being used as a water fountain by his own pet mongrel.
They say 'twas his wife that did it, and I'd bet a bottle of brandy they're right. A devilish flirt, that one.
As if that proves anything. Just keep your trap shut, will you, Bibius? Bunch of barbaric bastards, a lot of them. They'll kill your spouse and eat your children. We've been putting up a fight against them, to be sure, but they have the strength of an ox in every single one of their fingers. Takes an army to dress down a dozen.
Well, we did bring a legion.
Just bite your lip, will you, Bibius?
Seal, yes. Where fishermen come to live and street dogs come to die. Now, which of the two would you be then?
Just cut the cackle, will you, Bibius? Now then, stranger, if it's the city of Seal you're looking for, you're heading in the right direction. Even though most folks are trying to escape rather than reach the damn place these days. Not that I could blame them. This place is cursed, I tell you. First the dead rise from their graves, and then entire tribes of orcs sound the trumpets of war. You take to the rifle, lass. We're legionnaires, of course. On the lookout for orcs, for they've been attacking from the sea. God knows why they do it, but we stand firm. We of the Legion, liberators of Riverlon.
Liberators of liquor too, aren't we, old chum?
Shh! Just pipe down, will you, Bibius? Aye, a noble word for watchdog, that. For that is what we do. Watch over the local dogs that ever so often aim for one another's throat, and separate them to keep the peace. Separate by the sword, that is.
Best way to calm a wily dog is to neuter it. Ha! Spay for pay. Legions.
Just put a sock in it, will you, Bibius?
So, you're source hunters, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah.
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Agreed. A wizard is bound to know more about what is going on around here.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city.
What the hell's happening down there? Let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle their big brutes.
things.
Those orcs had a human commander? How very
Who is that
curious.
joker leading those
And
orcs?
disquiet.
Damn traitor.
Where are Bibius and Junius? Didn't they hear the fight?
Taken before his time, far before his time.
Filthy beast! I'll kill the last one of you!
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
Taken before his time, far before his time.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold! There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouse.
Undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arhu mentioned?
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful God? An orc in love! Ha! When this little Saturn fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
This place reeks of orc stench. Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
You wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you patch a horn on her head.
One day,
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's purring.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful God?
People like you can deny that she's loved.
An orc in love. When this little Saturn fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough scream and gloom. Half the day is dead upon my fair.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you touch a horn on her.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back page circular from Rufo's door?
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
You very do. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little Saturn fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now. Enough scream and gloom. Upon my fingers.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
And I won't let you touch a horn on her.
Blasted awful word had to play with fire.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. I used to see orcs in every shadow when...
Halt! These gates are to remain closed. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognise you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs did on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps...
Moira, one day you'll show 'em all.
Who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her. My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
Let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may prove to be a source of valuable information.
You're right. The information she provides could well turn the tides here in Sicil.
Bravo! I trust not only the potion, but my scaly sweetheart in and of herself.
You're going to regret this. We're all going to regret this. Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her.
I can't even smell the sea air over this pot.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear! I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish, and none but us will be the wiser.
True enough, without a bit of charity now and then, the world would be a far crueler place.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No, I paid for it! The merchant.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
This man is telling the truth. He paid for that fish fair and square.
Quite so. I saw him pay the merchant.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion. I'll be going.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir. Cat.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. I can understand your sympathy for that man, but feeding him for one day will hardly remedy his circumstances. You...
Treasure!
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Heavenly herring. Delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens. Lonesome, spiritless.
Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human, I say.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
I'm straight. Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point. Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Not the mood for cheese. The excuse is more home than a slice of this fine performance.
Well, hello there. Any takers? Come on, you chickens.
Not the mood for cheese. The excuse is more home than a slice of this fine performance.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Not the mood for cheese. The excuse is more home than a slice of this fine performance.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Not the mood for cheese. The excuse is more home than a slice of this fine performance.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Made a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Well, hello there.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Baron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Baron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Lonesome, spiritless, perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Well, hello there.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Lonesome, spiritless, perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
I'm straight. I'm true.
Those men only sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. Anybody?
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2?
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. But no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartier specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah? Certainly, what would you like to know? The Councillor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men. Me? Why, it was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst, a simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late.
Neither of you cares to plead for his very
Well,
existence.
she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal.
make your case?
Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silver Glen to learn the truth myself.
Curious healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Tone. Soothing a corpse's trouble.
Neither of you cares to... Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are, barging in?
I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need... I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless... What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Syceel, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Syceel is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward the edge with each passing minute. What a relief to share the burden of this impossible task.
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
Boris, Stephen, both good men. How can I choose but one?